had the opportunity to partner and hold a special event called Women's Thrive this weekend. And it was I'm trying to really be honest in sharing my emotions. I'm sort of having a hard time today at connecting, perhaps because I've been pretty sick since Sunday. But just the realization, first of all, I was so honored and so touched by the openness, the vulnerability, the willingness of these women to not only show up for themselves, but for each other, to be willing to work on themselves and at the same time support the people present. And the energy in the room was beautiful. And yeah, it was extremely touching. And it just brought to my attention, and it was part of the reason why I thought of creating these, is because we in our system have been so isolated and disconnected. And it's as with all these devices, with the phones and television, which are so easy to just go and reach, are so easy to simply, if you're craving for connection, you get this false sense of connection through a device, get a quick dopamine hit, and you feel better, at least for some time, and then you go back for more and back for more. But it's leaving us in the long run empty, because a phone really does not substitute feeling a person, looking at them in the eye, touching their hands, hearing their voice, talking. Like it's just a completely different experience. And also the way society has been designed in the Western world can cause a lot of trauma on people from their upbringing. And trauma in the long run makes people feel more isolated and having a difficult time really connecting with others. And my throat's I'm a little sick, so my voice sounds weird today. And simply creating or designate spaces where people can truly just be and connect and breathe together and enjoy perhaps music together and open up in sharing experiences together. It's so needed nowadays. And it was so beautiful to see in this group of women how just having that energy of togetherness, that intention, like we're here together, even if it's just to breathe. And just that brought so much healing. Because there is this magic that happens in our brain when we feel seen or felt or connected when we are going through something. It's just healing, because we humans thrive in connection. We need that connection. And now it's as if we're trying to substitute that for things, for the work, for the recognition, for the clothing that we wear, for the things that we have. But I believe at the very core is because we all want to be loved and accepted and seen and felt and chosen. And perhaps we have this need to prove ourselves, as we did as little kids, where our needs weren't met, having this survival of, okay, then I need to prove myself, and that so I can be lovable, so I can be accepted. And as I've been working on those traumas myself and working on myself, I realized that that by improving the relationship with myself, by having compassion towards myself, by being loving and practicing self-respect, then I don't have to seek for acceptance of others anymore. I don't have to prove myself anymore. And I feel at peace. Like, I've obviously not all the time, not perfectly, but I'm feeling more and more peaceful and more calm, even through difficult times. And it doesn't mean that I don't need connection, but when I connect with people, I'm not because I need it, because I'm desperate of covering those needs, but because I want to really open up and be with that person. It makes a big difference. I hope I'm making sense. My brain is kind of foggy today after I was pretty sick, but yeah, how if you feel like your life is not working out, usually it's a reflection. The outside of your world is a reflection of what's going on the inside. And I think something that's missed in Western society nowadays is that we're told, work harder, do more, show more. It has to be on the outside. And I did that for the longest time, and I ended up being exhausted, anxious, depressed, with trauma from following all of those ideologies and having that belief that, I have to prove myself. I'm not good enough as I am. That was the belief. But once I started to work on myself and really, it's like parenting yourself, learning to love and accept who you are, just as you are, just as when you have a baby, you love and accept that baby because it's your baby. And yeah, your baby doesn't have to do anything for you to love that little one. And so it's learning to practice that love again, because along the way with trauma, it's very common to adopt the belief, well, I'm not lovable, I'm not good enough, so I better change who I am. And we put on this mask and we stop being ourselves truly and fully. And yeah, I kind of lost track, but if you really want to change your life, everything about it, your relationships, economically, your health, it doesn't start by doing and controlling the things outside of you. And I've tried for lots of years. I've tried diets and practices and so many things. And the thing that has worked the most has been to truly work on myself, to really work on that trauma, to have a true relationship with myself. And I think in the culture too, that's seen as egotistical, but the greatest benefit that you can give to anyone around you is to have a better relationship with yourself, is to be better to yourself. Because then as you nurture yourself, you're not all depleted, you're not all exhausted, and then you can serve others in a way that is so much better. You're not empty, you're not running on empty, you're overflowing, and that overflowing helps others better than depleting yourself and then trying to do things as you're depleted. Anyway, I went too long, but yeah. So that's something that has really changed my life, to focus on being better, not to prove myself, not to please others, not to achieve or to be loved and accepted, but to start by loving and accepting myself as I am, where I am at. Not until I have the body, not until I have the job, like how I am showing up right now, and having the patience and the courage to just accept fully who I am. And yeah, that somehow transformed everything for me in my life just keeps getting better and better. And it's not that it was ever really bad, but I wasn't fully happy. I wasn't fully present. In lots of ways, I was very dormant, just, I don't know, following patterns, just very unconscious. And now to be able to be more present in my life and enjoy it more authentically has, yeah, it's just so much more peaceful. And everything has changed. Everything has shifted. My relationships, my health is getting better. Um, I'm finding incredible friends that are so honest and so open, and yeah, have been able to socialize has never been easier or better for me compared to how I was before. But anyway, just jumping up and sharing my crazy thoughts today. I rumbled a lot, and yeah, I guess because I sort of have a headache. But let me know what you think. Let me know what your experience has been, if you made it this far, what your thoughts are, and share the ways and how you work on nurturing yourself, on parenting yourself. I would love to hear more about that, about your experience.